Mr. President, welcome to Nairobi. Good morning, Madam. Morning. My Deputy President. Mr. President, welcome to Nairobi. Good morning, Madam. Morning. My Deputy President, Mr. Gachagua. He came to our Prime Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Musalia, our CDF. Welcome, Mr. President. The ceremony was sorry. As the head of the airport, the head of the Navy. I know it's not your first time. Yeah. Good afternoon and welcome to this very important occasion. Mr. President, let me thank you on behalf of the people and government of Kenya for making this inaugural visit by a head of state, the first in the history of our two countries. Your Excellency, you have corrected an anomaly that has existed for close to 40 years, that Kenya and Angola share a rich history of engagement as Kenya was involved in the independence of your great country. Mr. President, you're coming to Kenya today and making this first ever state visit by a president of Angola is very well appreciated by the people of Kenya, and it marks a turning point in the relations between our two countries. I affirm, Mr. President, the cordial relations between our two countries, the extensive collaboration and bilateral bond of friendship between our two nations, and we consider your country as our most dependable strategic ally in our continent. This state visit, Mr. President, precedes a meeting of our officials for the first ever Joint Commission on Cooperation, which has accorded our two countries an opportunity to deliberate on issues of mutual interest and review the implementation status of bilateral instruments that will further strengthen the existing cooperation between our two countries. On the matter of DRC, President Lorenzo has demonstrated great statesmanship in his stewardship of both the ICGLR process as mandated by AU and the mediation efforts between DRC and Rwanda. And that is in harmony and in synchrony with the Nairobi process. The Nairobi process is engaged in bringing together the armed groups and engaging them in dialogue so that they can participate in the process that will eventually, starting with cessation of hostilities, going into the next space of cantonment, then demobilization and disarmament, and then reintegration further down the road. That whole process has to be a process that involves EAC, the DRC administration, and all the armed groups, including the M23. And in that process, we are all aligned. In fact, when the cantonment finally happens, Angola will be providing troops that will guard the cantonment sites. So what we are doing as East African force and what Angola and SADC and the other partners are doing under the ICGLR process is in synchrony and is in harmony, and it is complementary to what we are all doing about stabilizing Eastern DRC as a sister country in our region that has yearned for many years for stability and dealing with a conflict situation so that they can engage in development and in progress and enjoy prosperity like the rest of the citizens of our region.